Events take place in Miami in the near future, when due to natural disasters the level of world oceans and vast territories were flooded. In addition, the world started a war, which brought even more problems and troubles. People's lifestyle has changed. It is so hot during the day that they rest and work at night. Nick Bannister is a retired Army veteran. He makes money by allowing clients to relive memories from the past. His assistant Watts, who also fought, says that the first client is already there. This is the hero's old Army friend, Legless Hank, who, by the way, never pays for a session. A disabled man gets an injection in the neck, puts on a brain-reading headband, waves, and placed in a container with liquid. Nicholas begins to hypnotize the patient, putting him into a deep trance and returning him to happy memories that displayed on a three-dimensional hologram in the center of the room. After the session, the client tries to pay with the very dangerous drug bill, but Nick once again says that everything is at the expense of the establishment. Bannister has a safe vault containing thousands of memory cards with client memories recorded on them. This makes his job easier when someone returns. I would also like to mention another regular customer, Elsa Karen. The girl relives memories over and over again where she has sex with some rich man, whose face we do not see. One evening, when the company was already closing, a beautiful woman appeared on the threshold. "Somewhere I lost my keys." She asks Nicholas to examine her memory for today and help her find what she lost. The stranger does not hesitate to expose herself in front of Nick, saying that he will still see everything by looking through the hologram. Then he says his name, May. Bannister puts the woman into a trance and monitors her memories, starting from the night before. May wakes up in her apartment, gets dressed, and puts her keys in her bag. She's on the boat, sails to the Coconut Club, where he is preparing for performances in the dressing room, and the keys fall out there. The task is completed, but Nicholas continues to watch. The girl is worried about something, even cries before going on stage. Then he pulls himself together, goes out and sings very beautifully. The session is over and recorded on the memory card, but May forgets her lucky jade earrings and the hero decides to return them. Bannister's work comes to the court, with which he cooperates when it is necessary to extract memories from criminals. After all, the apparatus he used was originally created for interrogations. However, today the services of a hero are not needed. The wealthy Walter Sylvan, suspected of corruption, arson and murder, was allegedly contraindicated by doctors from having a session in a container. Nick hears how the son of the accused, Sebastian, wants to take his father home, but he refuses, saying that there is still a lot to do and asks the question, "Have you found her?" The interlocutor answers negatively. Nicholas arrives at the Coconut Club to return May's earrings. He compliments the singer and asks about that strange moment from memory when a woman cried in front of the stage. The answer is simple: excitement and nerves before each performance. May asks the hero to conduct her home, and so their whirlwind romance begins. Bannister wakes up in the evening, then goes up to the roof where his woman is enjoying the rays of the setting sun. The lovers talk about memories, and it turns out that Nicholas himself does not use the return to the past. But then the picture floats and the hero comes to his senses from the screams of an angry Watts, who scolds him for again using the machine to return memories. It turns out that Nick has been literally living at his job for several months now and regularly plunges into the past, since May has disappeared somewhere and he wants to figure out where. Bannister reasons that he and May were happy, planned for the future, and she would never disappear without saying a word. Watts replies that the woman did not disappear spontaneously. She paid off the rent and vacated the apartment, and he needs to move on. Nicholas realizes that even without a car, May can't get out of his head. He leafs through his notebook of notes that he kept while interrogating prisoners during the war. A sensible thought comes to mind. People don't just disappear. He is looking for his beloved everywhere, and his only clue is a phrase from a former colleague of the singer that he mistook May for someone other than who she really is. The hero takes out from the hiding place a box with memory cards on which all his happy memories associated with the missing woman are stored, and again plunges into the past to find clues. In the past, Nick and May are lying under a tree having a picnic in the dry area, and he notices bruises on her arm. The lovers walk at sunset and the hero takes her to a beautiful place, a half-submerged tower. The alarm clock interrupts the session. Someone desperately and persistently knocks on the office door. Bannister opens it, but sees only a black car driving away. The hero looks down and sees one jade earring of May in the water. He is sure that she came and shares this thought with Watts. Colleagues come to court where it is necessary to scan the memory of a drug dealer who will soon die. Bannister extracts 5-year-old memories from a dying drug addict. The projector shows a bar in New Orleans and the owner of Stee. Joe's the main suspect. Unexpectedly, the hero recognizes the singer from the bar as May. She meets Joe, who gives her the drug Bacova. In the following frames of the drug dealer's memory, the woman is already addicted to Bucko and is the mistress of the crime baron. However, the woman soon clears his safe and escapes. Nick also sees this memory of the corrupt cop Cyrus Booth, who also knew May. Nick goes on a search to New Orleans to Stee, Joe's bar, saying that he is a friend of a certain Lorenzo. But the deception was discovered, and then the hero confesses to the mafia that he is looking for May. They want to drown him in an aquarium, but suddenly Watts, who was an excellent shooter in the war, bursts in and kills all the enemies. From one of his memories of his beloved woman, Bannister extracts information about a lonely elderly lady, Frances, who lives in a white house on stilts in the distant sea. She once sheltered and treated May for addiction. In a conversation with Watts, the hero learns that May once came to her and not to Bannister. He connects his girlfriend to the machine and finds out that while Watts was distracted, May stole all of Elsa Karen's memory cards. The hero goes to the floating market, a former amusement park, to look for Elsa. It turns out that she is dead and, according to rumors, some red-haired friend killed her and took away the boy Freddie, the son of the murdered woman. The hero finds more clues that led him to the building of an old abandoned attraction. There he meets Cyrus Booth, a corrupt cop who previously appeared in the memories of the drug dealer, but now his face is burnt. Booth beats Nick up and tells him to forget about May. Meanwhile, the city is on the verge of revolt, since the land magnate Sylvanus has died, but the monopoly on dry lands is not destroyed, but will be inherited by his son and wife. The puzzle begins to come together. The murdered girl Karen was the mistress of a rich criminal and gave birth to him. Apparently May and the corrupt cop Booth killed Elsa and kidnapped the tycoon's son. Bannister goes to the dry lands, where only the highest strata of society live, to talk with the widow Sylvan. She is almost out of her mind, but confirms that her late husband gave the order to Bud and a certain woman to destroy his former mistress and his illegitimate son. Then the tycoon's son appears and orders the guards to get rid of the hero, but they let him go, since they also served. Bannister sails to an abandoned processing plant in search of Booth and May, since heroes like them usually hang out there, and finds a corrupt cop, but he runs away and almost kills the hero. Nick injects his opponent in the neck with a relaxation drug before the memory session, and then takes him to his office to extract information. From the memory of a former policeman, Nicholas understands that everything that happened to him and May was a setup. The bruises that he saw on his lover's hand were traces from the fingers of the enraged Booth, because the singer seemed to have begun to fall in love with the hero and for a long time could not steal the necessary files about the affair of the rich man and Elsa. Booth killed Elsa, but May saved her son and ran away with him somewhere. The singer actually came and knocked on Nick's office, and she dropped the earring on purpose when a corrupt cop found her there and took her away. He forced the woman to swallow a huge amount of Bucko in order to extort the whereabouts of Philip. She tells him that she took the boys to some white wooden house, but Booth does not understand what kind of place this is, but the hero immediately remembers Frances, who helped the girl get rid of addiction and live somewhere at sea. May knew that someday Bannister would fish out Booth's memories and understand what it was about. The hero enters the hologram and feels as if the girl is communicating with him, and then witnesses how she dies. Enraged, Nick fixates the killer's mind on the most terrible memory, the moment when he was burning in fire. Bannister returns to Sylvan's widow and son. It turns out that it was Walter, and not his late father, who hired the killer cop so as not to share the inheritance with the illegitimate claimant. Soon the police found the boy and will soon arrest the rich. Nick arrives at Watts' new job, hands her a file with evidence of all the crimes and asks her to hand them over to the judge. For his help in solving monstrous crimes, the judge allows Nicholas not to serve time in prison for killing a cop, but to immerse himself in continuous happy memories of his beloved May for the rest of his life.